Hello YouTube, EddieBones13 coming back with another knife review. I just uploaded a knife review on the CRKT Hootenanny by Ken Onion. I had said originally in that video that, I'm not much of a collector yet. I started about 2 years ago. I only have a few higher priced pieces. This one that I'm showing you today is one of them. Like I said before, I know knives well enough to know what I want. I know what the custom designers make. I know I want customs one day. I just cannot afford them at the moment. So like I said, I'm doing these videos for like the beginner entry-level knife collectors, to maybe give them some info on knives that they may like and may want to buy that aren't 500 and up. Which, I hope to be great like that someday. I got to give a shout out to the great Jim Skelton. He's awesome, man. He does some of the most awesome knife reviews and some of the most beautiful pieces I've seen. Him and Mindless Mark 7 have just gorgeous stuff. Epic Snuggle Bunny is another one I just found. He's great. Terra Fanatic, man, you guys are hilarious. I love your stuff, man. The New York accent is just phenomenally funny. I like it though. It's cool, man. So you guys do some awesome stuff. I don't have nothing like that in my collection, but for you beginners out there, I will show you some stuff that maybe will interest you in these knives. So right here today, we did do a step up from the CRKT. We have the Zero Tolerance 0562 CF, meaning carbon fiber. It is a Hinderer design. It's a collaboration between Rick Hinderer, and Zero Tolerance. I absolutely love this knife. This is my everyday carry right now. The feel, the look, the open design, the deep carry pocket clip, the Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. I mean, everything about this knife is phenomenal. It is all carbon fiber, a nice, smooth, just molded type carbon fiber. I mean, the feel of this carbon fiber is phenomenal. There's a little slick. So you got to be aware of that, but the grip on this knife with all these finger indentions for your fingers is just phenomenal. It holds it tight, as well as the jimping. ZT does a good job with this jimping. They use this a lot in a lot of their knives. It's not too much and not too subtle. It's just perfect. Grabs really nice. Just sharp enough. You got a little jimping right here in the. Forgive me for my camera, but got a little jimping right here in the bottom as well. So when you do the reverse grip, you have a little something for your hand to rest on. But yeah, I mean, you're looking at a carbon fiber front scale, with a nice pivot. I know with their last model, the 801, I had problems. I had to send it back a few times because this kind of pivot kept loosening up. The blade was wobbly really bad, so I just sent it back again because it went from doing it in 5 flips to being wobbly to 15 now. So they did get a little better, and even when I tighten it, it loosens right up. So they're going to get that fixed for me. They're awesome over there at ZT and Kershaw. Great customer service. So like I said, carbon fiber front, you got a full titanium back, which is awesome. The titanium on this is just phenomenal. It's beautiful. All the edges are, I guess you'd say chamfered. I don't know. They're rounded off really nice and comfortable. There really is no hot spots. The way the pocket clip is low like this, there's just really no hot spots. The pocket clip holds phenomenally. It is a deep carry, which for a knife like this I love. I don't want to lose it. It stays snug in the pocket. I like that. It doesn't have a lanyard hole, but I did actually hook a lanyard to this back spacer here, and it was thin enough to where the knife blade is not hitting it. And I wish I had that lanyard. I would show you which one I'm using. It's just a normal lanyard, little skull bead on it, but it actually works. I took it off for the purposes of the video. But so yeah, titanium back, got the Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. Nice, it's got the thumb studs, but I got to tell you, these, you're not going to open the knife with these on either side. They're more of a blade stop for up here. You can see where they rest. Let's just go ahead and open this knife up and show you the action. Rides on ball bearing system. I believe it's the KVT ball bearing system from Kershaw and Zero Tolerance. So one tug and out it goes. Look at that blade. That blade is absolutely gorgeous. You have like a stonewash flats, and then like a satin rubbed blade and swedge. And the stonewash and the satin just makes it just gorgeous. And it's hard to get in this camera, but it is absolutely gorgeous. There's that jimping I was talking about. nice open design. If you look at the knife, there is a little bit of jimping right here that I was talking about. So if you are going to be carrying this in the reverse grip, it kind of grabs right there. The knife is perfect. I mean, the hold on this knife, the way you grip this knife, everything just fits perfectly in my hand. And I wear a large to extra large glove. Look at all the room left for my hand. Actually, the grab on this knife is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Let's take a look at Lockup. Lockup is perfect. There is a lock bar insert there, a stainless steel lock bar insert. You can see the screw for it. I can't really get it in this camera, unfortunately, but it is in there. Little metal insert, which is going to help the wear on this knife a lot better. You don't really want titanium on steel, stainless steel. It's going to cause lock stick and all kinds of other problems. So they did a good job with that. It's kind of hidden in there. It's hard to see, but you can see it. You push over. It's really easy. But it is a little stiff on the opening of the lock bar, but I like that. And like I said, this knife just, once you get past that detent, it just falls. The weight of the blade, I mean, it is just phenomenal. Let's open this a few more times. Lay it down here and let you see the whole knife as a whole. There it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Flip it over. Another good quality about this knife, I gotta say, is the blade steel. It's hard to read this right here, but it does say 0562 CF for the carbon fiber. It is a Hinderer design, made in the USA. Serial number is 5092, and it is a Kai USA. And what I wanted to show you is, if you could see this, CTS 204P. Now this blade steel is a carpenter steel. It's a powdered carpenter steel, and from what I heard, it is great. I don't know much about it except for that the wear is awesome. It holds an edge very well. The corrosion resistance is phenomenal. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they compare this to a M390 maybe. I could be wrong on that, but maybe comment below and let me know. I didn't do much research on this steel. I should have for this video, but that nice thick swedge at the top, you know, it's pretty thick, and then it comes down into that thick point. So Hinderer designed this special grind here. It's called the slicer grind. You know, I'm sure other people have done this, but he kind of named it after his own grind. It's the slicer grind, and it is a slicer. This knife came razor sharp, and I wish I could zoom in on to show you the lines on this knife, the grind lines. I just can't, but it is absolutely gorgeous. The knife is sharp. I have used it. It doesn't show much wear yet. I've been carrying this now for about 3 weeks, and absolutely love this knife. Guys, you're looking at an overall length of 8.25 when it's open, which, you know, it's a little big. It's a little past my taste for EDC, but not now. After carrying this knife, I realized that this size of a knife is actually phenomenal. It works great in every way. It is a little heavy. I believe the weight on this is about 5.4 ounces, and that's just off the info that I gathered. So it is a little on the heavy side, but again, not for me. I'm 6'2", 260 pounds, so this little 5.4 ounce knife doesn't really weigh me down much. I'm already weighed down, so I love it. The blade length is 3.5 inches, and that's starting from, I believe, the grind right here. You're looking at about 3.5 inches, maybe a little longer if you were to measure from the pivot point back here. What else can I tell you about this? The blade thickness is 0.16 inches, so nice and thick. That swedge kind of reduces some of that thickness, but I love that swedge. The look of that is nice. It helps it to make that slicer grind just look phenomenal. It is a drop point blade. And I would say it's a little bit modified drop point, almost like a slight reverse Tonto or something like that. Maybe not quite as steep as that, but it is a drop point blade. It is a satin finish, you know, like I said, with the stone wash flats, and it's gorgeous. The handle length is 4.75 inches. So when this knife is closed, you're looking at almost 5 inches, 4.75, which is perfect. Again, it's a little large from what I usually carry, but it actually works perfect. I have large to extra large hands, And you can see how that knife just is perfect in my hand. I absolutely love it. And this is probably the style of knife that I am going to stick with now as far as an everyday carry. Usually I get about 4.25 to 4.5 inch handles, and you can tell that where my hand would be, my pinkies almost would be touching the end of that knife, and this just gives me plenty of room to actually grip on this knife, and I absolutely love it. So this may be my new size of EDC, 3.5 inch blade with like a 4 3/4 inch handle, or maybe even bigger. 5 inch wouldn't be bad as well. Let's see, what else can I say about this knife? Excuse me for bumping the camera, I apologize. I would have to say that it is a right hand, left hand reversible pocket clip, which is awesome. So you can actually, lefties can actually switch this over to this side with this little screw. It just slides right out and then flips right over to the other side, which is nice. I mean, you know, I'm not a lefty, but you know, lefties out there like to carry it in their pocket, and they need it to be on the right side. So to me, I like the pocket clip being on the titanium side. I think covering this carbon fiber would get in the way, but I can understand for a lefty what the purpose of that would be. So let's see. Forgive me for pausing a lot. I'm just trying to think of some more info about this. You know, the flipper's nice. It's nice and big. It acts as like a finger guard. So when you're locked into there, you are locked in tight. I mean, that finger's not going anywhere. In the closed position, you can see they give you plenty of flipper to grab. It does have a very strong detent. So you really got to get on it. This is not a push button knife, although I just did push button it, but it was sort of a push button light switch mix. You really want to light switch this knife, and it flies right open. And like I said, the closing action on this, the weight of the blade, it just falls. Let's look at the centering while we're here. Man, it's almost dead on. I mean, up through here, you're looking at almost perfect. Slightly off to the right, the tip, but not really. I mean, it's pretty much dead on, you guys. I mean, this knife is great knife, and it's worth every $240 that I paid for it. I can tell you right now at Blade HQ, it's going for about $240. Knife Center, actually, I believe it's discontinued. I'm not sure why, but it is. So Blade HQ would be the spot for that, unless one of your local retailers in your state actually carries this knife. I know Sportsman's Warehouse was carrying it for about $260, which is a little $20 over. So I'm not going to pay that when I can get it for, you know, $20 cheaper through one of these websites with free shipping. Yeah, that's what I recommend on this knife. Go to Blade HQ at this moment. There's probably other knife retailers that have this. Blade Ops maybe has it. GP Knives, other companies like that. I'm not telling you to stick with Blade HQ. I just find Knife Center and Blade HQ are my number one go-to resources for knives like this. So let's see, what else can I tell you about this knife? You already know the designer was Rick Hinderer. The blade grind is flat, so you know that. CTS 204P, great steel. I'm finding it to be awesome. I've used this knife a lot already, and it's just not showing much wear at all. Looks just like the day I got it, and it's razor sharp still. Little secret, I use the new Work Sharp system, a knife sharpener, to sharpen my knives, and it works phenomenal. I haven't had to sharpen this one yet, but to me, it's one of the best knife sharpeners on the market right now, besides like the Wicked Edge. Sorry for bumping the camera again. Besides like the Wicked Edge, I see people get mirror polishes off that thing, man. I just can't afford it. The KVT ball bearing opening on this knife is phenomenal, like I said before. It does have a hardened steel lock bar insert, which is nice, and lock bar stabilizer. And they label this as a unique pocket clip. I would as well, being that the way it fits in there. I mean, it's such a deep carry. If you're not into deep carry, this would definitely not be the knife for you, because it rides deep. You can see the gap there. I mean, there's a lot of space up here. Your jeans come right up to there. I mean, the knife completely disappears in the pocket. So for me, it's fine though. With a little lanyard I hook on there, it's perfect. I can just pull it out and deploy it fast. Again, let's just open and close it a few more times, just so you can kind of get a look at this knife. Let's try it lefty. Perfect. Look at that. So, I mean, it's just an awesome knife. All around, I would recommend this knife to anybody that has an extra $240. I would give this, out of 1 to 5 stars, I would give this a 5-star all day. I really can't find nothing wrong with it at all. You know, I overlook it. Everything's rounded off. There's no hot spots when holding this knife. The detent is phenomenal. Let's look at that real quick. So if we push it down here, you'll see it'll just grab here in just a second. It just sucks it in there. Watch. Bam. Right there. Sucks it in. The detent is phenomenal. So yeah, for all you guys out there looking for a nice knife in the upper $200, mid $200 range, I would definitely recommend the Zero Tolerance 0562 carbon fiber, or the Zero Tolerance 0562 the brother of this one, which I believe is a G10 front, which probably is going to have a little more grip than this. But if you like the good looks of carbon fiber like I do, definitely go with this one. I'll be back with another video shortly. Until then, stay sharp. Have a good one, YouTube. Eddie Bones out.